Well, we have Spread Paranormal, man. I love you, brother. Thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Spread Paranormal in the house. Bro, I've been looking at paranormal equipment for months and all the sensors and some channels online like yours, that are using some of these devices. And it's intriguing me. Which excites me more, finding UFOs or seeing a ghost? It still remains my first love is the mystery of the unknown here on Earth. I think Earth is probably a lot scarier than any other planet when you think of it. Things that some people, the things that people feel, it remains a secret and it remains theory. It remains sometimes people think it's a myth, it's a lie. People are bullshitting people. And that's what we are. We're a bunch of bullshitters here. And honestly, people have a hard time believing and trusting each other, So ever notice that when you shave yourself, the line of your mustache is always okay, except for when you come online. That's a little shadow there. That's sort of annoying me. I'm gonna go take it off. Give me a second. There we go. What the hell's wrong with Bruce? He's talking about paranormal stuff. Now he's talking about his freaking beard again. If it's not his eye, it's his beard. Christopher Rollins in the house. Kassar in the house. Hello to you. Thank you very much, sir. Star Hunter, thanks you guys for being here. Cygnus, Starscream, Seattle in the house. We have Ghost here. Thank you very much for listening in, my friends. I promise it's going to be an interesting stream. I guarantee it. Roger 5 in the house. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. 40th to get no, that's good. Listen, not many people are getting the notices when these things come on. That's for sure. Whoop, William Shuttles just appeared over top of you. Weird stuff happening here in the house. We got a good one, William, a really good one to talk about. A lot of people with the Apollo 20 mission and the alien and that Mona Lisa girl. There's a lot right here in the community. A lot of you have told me your opinion saying, Bruce, I think it's totally fake, which it absolutely can be. But the sad part is that there are a lot of fake parts inside of that story. So as I always say, you have a truth and you insert just a little bit of a lie, and then it screws everyone up. I was a bit overexcited when I was looking at the research. I've been doing this for 4 hours today, and all these double-sided papers of things that I wrote in about 2-3 hours time. It turns out at the end of all this researching, there's a little name there of someone who wrote a book and who added certain things inside of the Apollo 20 mission story. As excited as I am to prove to the world that there's someone up there, even though we know that on the moon, and that there's buildings, that there's activity, I sure as hell don't want to lie. Clickbait, I despise it. Okay, I know there's a way for people to get these big titles so people come and see their work, but sometimes, not always, sometimes and often people, they don't do the right thing. They do something that's a lie. They insert a lie inside of a title. Me, I watch a whole video when I see a title because I assume that the title is real. So we have some good news. There really are structures on the dark side of the moon, and the reason why I believe that, after we hear what our friend second class airman, but at the time that he was speaking of this, Carl, we're going to hear about him. Top secret clearance, a repairman that was fixing some computers at NASA at the moment the Apollo 20 mission or something was going on. But either way, they found on the dark side of the moon some structures. We have a lot of this evidence coming out often in files, and you have to do the research yourself to try to look to see what's true and what's not true. It's like really really not easy. Thanks a lot, Sprad. Yeah, guys and gals, thanks for subscribing. If you're interested in the channel, because the subscribers are rolling down this week, that's what the trolls do, up and down. If you want to be a troll, open 30 channels and go to a channel, and it'll make you feel good when you see the little subs coming down. But in reality, in your head, Bruce is being, is doing good. This is why this is happening. Give me a second, guys. Well, we're in a snowstorm here, a very big snowstorm. And we just got dumped about 10, 15 centimeters again. So hopefully it's we're approaching the end of the snowstorms here, because I'm not really a snow buff. John in the house. Thank you. Hey, hi. Chrono Stone. I have to go up now because it seems to be glitched. More names appearing. Charlene, thank you. Thanks for being members, you guys and gals too. Also, Nick Bowker in the house. Hello to you. Philly Drone Life. There's an interesting channel when I hear drones. I love drones. What's up, man? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for taking the time to say hello and to come to the streams. I missed someone here. Sprad, Kronos, Stone, Southern Oregon, Berserker Battalion. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. I document all my findings, says Sprad, so people can decide for themselves. Absolutely, 100%. And it's an interesting channel. Like I said, you guys can check out Sprad Paranormal too. I hope you will. Listen, you're all interested in looking for ghosts and all the channels that are doing it. The big channels, I'm not going to put them down, but when I go to those big channels, you can watch a ghost video, and the first 3 to 5 minutes of the video, you see things that are going on that are not legitimate. You're seeing cuts in the videos and stuff. A lot of people try to scam people, but there's a lot of truth also, and some really good ghost channels. I was looking at some paranormal channels this week, and I was like, gosh, I have to get some equipment and start doing that. It's just the thrill for me of having the chance to encounter spirits. It's not everybody. So I said to myself, all those people, looking for spirits and ghosts, Sprad Paranormal has an intuition, an understanding of energy, and that's why he does it. But some people that don't understand that and that don't know or ever seen ghosts, and they start a channel, probably not going to see anything. You're not going to feel anything. And you could have devices. Devices are really practical for proof that something's there. And the EMF meters, EVP monitors, some of them, the EVP recordings are exceptional, but I just hope that they're not, that they're all real, and it's not some program that's inside of an EVP monitor with a list of certain names where people can enter them so that they'll speak out like spirit, Satan, death, Backbone NF, hey, thank you so much. Greetings from Germany. Thanks so much, you guys in Germany. Thank you very much for the generous contributions. Thanks, man. Our friends in Germany here are present. We get a lot of people from Germany that come by the channel. I thank you all, my friends in Germany. Thanks for the generous contribution. Help guys from Philly. They're hiding everyone from us bastards. Yeah. Listen, I hear you on that. Here in Canada, they're stopping me and all Canadians from having access to knowing what's going on with the war. I have no idea what's going on, first of all, in Philly and in the States. When shit hit the fan in Philly and all those states and the horrible things that are happening in the States, most people don't even believe that's true, because people are, for some reason, they're stuck on the media, right? But I don't know if it's the age, if it's because they're mind controlled or something, but it has nothing to do with age, because I got some people here, 60s, 70s, and even in their 80s that confirmed to me they've been awake all their lives. They don't go with the flow or the trends that others try to bring on to others. We all follow trends. You see a neighbor has a nice car. I want to get one, but mine's not going to be blue. Mine's going to be red, and I'm going to get some I'm going to put 4 mags on it because the neighbor doesn't have 4 mags. And the next neighbor does the same thing, puts a trailer on it with a boat. You know, we compete. Humans, I was going to say aliens. Yes. Yeah. Humans compete amongst themselves. Anthony Brooks is here. Hey, good one, Christopher Rollins. Well, I'm hearing a lot of information that's coming out, and I ain't going to hide it. A guy named Thierry Speth, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Thierry Speth, Speth. Thierry, not English or French. It's another language that the guy talks. Many years ago would have written a novel about Apollo 20 mission. So sadly, I started looking into the novel and stuff, and some of the things and theories that we hear people saying that is true were coming out of that bloody novel, and that terrifies me. I think this is probably the last time I'll talk about Apollo 20 mission just because of that, because some people know the truth and they go to someone's channel. Okay, he's going to tell people the aliens real, the Mona Lisa. I'm not saying whether she's real or not. There's supposed real footage of that alien being, which was a female with the sticks that were across her face and the wax, whether it be a movie or not, it could be, but really don't understand how NASA would allow the interior of a module to be filmed. So what module were they filming where the alien was in? Well, in the story anyways, what happened is that when they landed Apollo 20, and also the big story is that the other Apollo missions did happen, including the one with Tom Hanks, right? But that there would have been secret projects. Keep that in mind as a theory, and that I'm not confirming that, right? Well, we could say that if there were Apollo missions that did or did not go, it could be because they hit it, there were secret projects. We fight about whether they went to the moon or not. I believe there's a very big possibility that a human could have gone to the moon, right? Because of some of the information that we're seeing. But based on the Apollo 11 movie, right, whether it be Stanley Kubrick or not, many of you know by now the possibility, let's leave it at that, that these films and edits were done in a studio here on Earth, and maybe even some of the Apollo 11 footage. We have the astronauts looking at the facts that came back, especially Aldrin. So did Neil Armstrong talk about something, but Buzz Aldrin mentioned that they never went. I heard him say it with his own words. He said it in an interview he talked to Conan O'Brien on Conan O'Brien. He mentioned it. One of them, either Buzz or Neil, was talking to a child in grade 4 or 6, and also explained to the girl that they didn't go to the moon. So we do have a lot of proof of these things. It's not just controversial lies where the people don't believe they went and they're making up bullshit. But for people to know what's truth and what's not, it's near impossible unless you know the whole story. Unless, like Christopher Rollins, you go back and you look at the stories of it, and you try to pick up on some truth, and you could see probably both truth and lies when you're looking at these things. We've been mining the moon for decades. Thanks, Chronos Stone. That's something I would believe very, very highly likely as one of the theories for me that I keep on the top of my list, because I think it's possible. We can fight about whether they went or not. If we don't know how they went, and if people think that there are aliens there, like including one of my theories, don't worry. If people believe that they're just aliens there, that humans have nothing to do with it there, well, keep an open mind. You don't change your belief system, but keep an open mind on what other people are saying. I get theories here all the time, and I'm not always agreeing with them. You know, William Shuttles told me a hell of a good one. Everyone, all this talk about a second sun would basically what he was saying, mentioning maybe they're coming to change it, like to leave with the sun at the same time as another sun's arriving. And I'm this is a theory, he said, William Shuttles, again, a theory, but a hell of a good one, right? When you think of it, these possibilities could be real. It could very well be real. We don't know what the size of the sun is. Everyone says if it's as big as they say it is, no, they probably didn't tow it, right? Because some people are saying that it was towed and the moon was towed here and stuff. What's the truth in it? What's not the truth in it? I never laugh at any of the theories because, there's just so many theories out there. Flat Earth, not flat Earth. I watched, hey, Kassar, thank you. Oh yes, I know exactly which one you're talking about. The one from Rebel News, I think. Freeland WS should be held for treason, giving access to Schwab. All our intel, yep, they're lying about the climate for their own pockets. Thanks, man. 100%. Thanks for generous contribution, you guys. 100%. There's actually a freelancer, someone from Rebel News, a reporter that went over there a couple of days ago. Probably most of you have seen the video. If not, it's on InfoWars. Alex Jones is also showing it banned on video. And when you look at the video, well, they followed not Klaus Schwab, but followed another one. I think it was the head of, can't talk about it, Pfizer, something like that, asking him questions. Why this? Why that? But it's all those a group of people at the WEF. Good news on that front without bringing it too much up. Just adding that in there, the people are winning. Some good signs are coming out of this big, dark story that happened a couple of years ago, and some good news is coming out of that. I get sadder and sadder. The less I can speak, the more they take away freedom of speech, the more I feel imprisoned, and it's hard, But I got to keep the channel up, so I'm going to focus on the moon right now. Dale Hobbs, another theory that's on the absolute top of my list, because I've actually showed some signs of explosions and objects burning, catching on fire, and smoke coming from them as they descend to the atmosphere. So yes, as a theory, a hell of a good one too. I think it's possible that it could be absolutely a war on the moon. Absolute 100%. Will, thanks for being here. Appreciate that, brother. Will is the name of actually one of the astronauts that they were talking about on Apollo 20. But in the story, there's some names that come up that are not the names of the astronauts. So again, they shouldn't have made that book and integrated as part of an Apollo 20 mission. Like, we have certain footage there. I'm really starting to believe that the spaceship footage could be real. They would have a hell of a hard time faking that. Maybe it's another planet they're showing it on. I mean, a lot of you told me that you don't believe it, and I have a lot of respect for that, because you can absolutely be right. But I don't know about that part. Bobana, thanks, you guys. Hey, Trunk Bang King, thank you very much. Trunk Bang King, thank you. Yeah, I was listening yesterday and today and looking up a lot about it, and then I saw that name, Thierry Speth, came up, and I said, oh my gosh. He wrote a novel called Apollo 20. There's no footage or anything that was faked based on what they said, but I don't know about the story, and it's a hell of a story. I'm going to talk to you partly about it, about the astronauts of the Apollo 19 having white gloves and red tips, that they would have landed there Apollo 20 and scrummaging after having looked at this massive spaceship that is said to be 300 feet wide, 30-story building, just as tall as it, as wide as a football field, and it's older than Giza. It's older and was there a long time before there would have been dinosaurs. So if an alien ship came and landed on the moon or crash landed there, I'm telling you guys, we were far more advanced in ancient times. As a matter of fact, they could be destroying every planet since the beginning of time to try to abolish all the knowledge or gather the knowledge. Like, we don't know what intentions NASA has, and China and Russia now and UK now. Everyone's going to be in space. India, they're all going up there, right? Every one of them, every country's going to have an astronaut. And again, what I don't want is for that secret to remain a secret again. Every time there's a whistleblower, guys, and we find out something about the FBI, the CIA, or NASA, it's always from the inside. It always comes out from the inside. There's always someone on the inside that has a heart and says, nah, I have to share this. And some of them risk their lives. Probably many of them have been killed over the years. It's just something that is stronger than a human when you know the truth. I wouldn't have been able to hide this. If I was threatened And I was, I was told that I'd be killed if I kept doing this. You'll see. We have nothing to force you. This is only one message you're going to get from us. Stop doing what you're doing. A couple of years later, people ask me, you get visited by men in black? Do you get this? Have you been, uh, yeah, a lot of things happen around the house, but some of the stories that people say are maybe not all true, maybe not even about the maybe even about the men in black, because there's a lot of stories out there. And I think we're living in Hollywood. Everything that we're living through, the physical illusion we're living in, is an animated acting. Like these are all scenarios that are being whipped up on Earth. Maybe everything's faked. All the cataclysmic events that were maybe manipulatively created by man. If it's not nature doing this, we're people are waking up to that, but a lot of people stay asleep, and I don't understand how people can stay asleep. Yeah, well, the movies, that's exactly it. Well, there's some truth in some of the movies also, though, which I find interesting. Backbone and F, thanks again, you guys, contributions. Clasheur, Jérôme, bonne année et bonne chance surtout. Ben, je te remercie beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. Merci d'être passé à la chaîne, Bruce Caesar. Daz is in the house. Nice to see you, brother. Leah, how's it going, Leah? Karen Massey, thank you. She said, very painful last night. Hopefully better today. I hope you guys are doing well. Eva. Sorry if I'm missing you guys. Thanks, Eva. Try using the Spirit Talker application that says Karen Massey. I've been looking at a couple of them. It seems to give relevant information. Would love to watch your ghost hunting too. Lol, why not? Yeah. I'm telling you, it would be a lot more exciting than the UFO. Well, maybe not more exciting. Let's push evenly. But honestly, you guys would be surprised as to what I'm able to see, and especially when you're conjuring or attracting someone, a spirit to you. A lot of mistakes people do when they're doing that, I find, it's just my opinion, but there are things that you can say doing tests with the Ouija board, and there's things that I've tested myself. There's questions that I ask the Ouija board is not like the questions that other people will ask it. I ask about the present. People have a tendency of saying, all right, these are dead spirits. We're talking to devils and dead spirits. What if the Ouija board idea and the way people are communicating and seeing shadows and portals opening up, like I've witnessed, I swear to you, I've witnessed that. A shadow. Even worse, it was my friend's shadow that became its own person, right? Since we know that's not physically possible, when you see it with your own eyes, you know for a fact that there's something on the other side. There really is something on the other side. That's 100% a fact. But people bring in all these ideas, theories, and the secret societies, the cults that come from it, Satanism, spell worshiping, and all this. People all turn around and say, oh, they're witches. They're, these guys are just witches, or they're just Satanists. Some people don't want to see the other side, but some people have access to the other side, and they're always being bothered by spirits on the other side. So it makes somebody want to share what he or she is finding. I have some really cool questions that I would ask with that box, a Spirit Talker box, like you're saying, a spirit box or ghost box or EVP, whatever you want to call it. There's some questions that you can ask very easily that will prove that, or sort of prove that the machine is real. And there are easy questions to ask for that. So that's the first thing that I would do, and that I've done in the past. I've tried an EVP monitor in the past, and I've had my name come up on it. So when you hear your name come up, that's maybe a sign that, whoa, wait a minute, maybe there's some reality to it or not, because I know there is. I don't know whether the devices are all legitimate, but I know for a fact there is something on the other side. That's for sure. I don't linger on it, but I often bring up the stories now. It took me a couple of years to be able to talk about them because people think you're nuts, but that's how it is. Encounters with spirits, there is no laws of physics or gravity when it comes to something happening in front of you. So does that mean that the gravity's not real? Does that mean this isn't real or that's not real? Maybe not, but it's proof that there's something on the other side. So when it comes to Apollo 20 mission stories and stuff like that, I keep an open mind and very open mind about the things, that I'm hearing, because some people make movies to tell the truth and they show it as science fiction, and then it remains science fiction. And then the elites can analyze your feelings, emotions, and opinions on that. They're always surveying us. They're always looking at what people think about everything from the pandemic to wars. They're always watching to see how people react so that they can get the better hand on us first. Well, we can do the same thing by watching them and to prevent things that are coming ahead of time. You don't have to be a psychic to know that. Afternoon to you, Suzanne. Thank you very much. Bruce and chat, been following for a while. It's my first live stream of you. Thank you for what you're doing. God bless. I thank you so much, Suzanne. Thanks for coming by, guys, and thanks for, of course, the beautiful messages and encouragement and energy. El Morales, hey, brother, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for being here. Richard, how's it going? Watmore says, thank you for all the hard work. Hey, thanks, man. You put into your videos, sending love, positive vibes from New Brunswick, very close by. Thank you very much. How's it going, Michael? Thanks, guys. JT's in the house. You're watching the deindustrialization of the West. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm watching, and I'm seeing it, and that's a fact. That's 100% a fact that's happening. It's very, very sad. Started out, I was seeing it in the States, and we have the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Miss Teeth, is no longer there. She was horrendous for the people of New Zealand, keeping them like prisoners in their homes. But anyways, she's long gone. She is out the door, and I hope it kicks her in the ass. So good news for New Zealand. Deindustrialization and the dismantling of certain powerful associations that are ruling the world. And this, I believe, is going to be done behind the scenes for several years. We're going to see a lot of people disappearing, a lot of people going to jail. And then at the very last minute, thanks again, JT, at the very last minute, you're going to see all these names come up. Maybe even Epstein's list. Oh my gosh, there's so many people waiting for that one. Aleos, Valhatla in the house. Thank you very much, my kind friend. Merci pour le grand sport, Aleos. On est en tempête de neige ici, brother. Modern Archive, search for Apollo 20 mission. Search for Apollo 20 mission. Google results warn, it looks like the results below are changing quickly. Very interesting. If this topic is new, it can sometimes take time for reliable sources to publish information. Thank you so much, Modern Archive, for sharing that. Makes perfect sense. And yeah, like I'm telling you, so much information about a whole bunch of stuff. And all this, I was going to throw it out because I was very disappointed to find out that they actually found the person that wrote that novel, which I'm not going to hide it. Probably maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people talked about this and I didn't pick up on it because I'm not a genius or I have nothing to do with that. I'm not a person that knows everything is what I mean online. My eyes are not everywhere. I see a lot, but not everything. I see all with a small a. That's why I have the small a here. Eat the bugs, exactly what our our Klaus Schwab. All he's missing is the white cat, Kronos, eh? The little white cat. Yes, they will eat the bugs. Eh, Minky? Yes, they will eat the bugs. He's a villain, right? So the movies that you see about the villains in the movies, these badass villains with the scars and that look like Klaus Schwab, well, probably based on people like him. No jokes in that, for sure. Which one was that one now? Darla, probably, yeah. Yeah, she was definitely not feeling good. Keep her in our prayers for sure. Absolutely. And a couple of days ago, I said in the comments, I said, I hope not to see you at the stream. Take a load off, relax, sit down and watch instead of running after the trolls and being a mod. let the other mods get their share of work. Cindy Krause, which I thank so much. How's it going, Cindy? Thanks for coming by, you guys. The Real Stats in the house. Please put your questions for Bruce early in the stream because it takes him hours to scroll down. He's always stuck on the top. Nobody knows why. He wants to chat with everyone, and there's only one Moon Man. Thank you. Share your kindness and the stream. Hit the like button, the thumbs up. Enjoy your day. Join us at 8 p.m. tonight because that's the second stream. I stream twice on Fridays, once on Wednesday at 5 p.m. So tonight's stream will be at 8 p.m. Why are the stars harder to see? And I'm not just talking about the incredibly, thank you so much, Julie. Hello to Floyd too, if he's listening. The stars, less and less we're seeing them around the world. Now, listen, I'm not trying to valorize myself, but remember what I mentioned about the colorful green moon I got just before they took me down for 2 weeks? I caught a green moon. If you didn't see the videos, very recent, a green surface on the moon for the first time seen with my P900 camera. Those of you who have a P900, it's always brown, right? At night, the moon is brown, and in the day, the moon is white. Okay, but at night, the colors for the P900, I'm not a fanatic. It's just brown. P900 is not the best camera to film at night. You can't see F all either. But, and why was I talking about that? Yeah, the green moon. When I saw the green moon, I mentioned something in the video that a lot of people are going to say, yeah, so big whoop. You mentioned that the light was different. The light intake around Earth was different. In theory, why would I think that? NASA is talking about it now, just now. There is a difference with the light that is around Earth. They're talking about the sky glow, whether it be because of the sky glow or not. It's a possibility. And what the sky glow is, at night, after sunset, when the sun goes down, you notice that you see a lot of light left, like going into the night. You're only going to see this if you film every day. I know this is true. When you see the sun going down, once the sun goes completely under the horizon and starts continuing to go down, at night where the sun went down, look in the sky for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you see an incredible glow. So you assume it's the sun going down, right? Well, apparently it's radiation, very, very dangerous radiation, right? Montreal, those of you in Quebec and maybe parts of Canada, obviously, but especially in Quebec, in a couple of days, the 18th or the 9th, actually, we're the 20th today. Yesterday, day before yesterday, and today, maybe tomorrow night, but I think tonight's the last night to see the aurora borealis, to see those lights caused by radiation from the sun. Beautiful radiation from the sun. It looks beautiful. It only looks beautiful. You could see it in the sky. So people from Montreal were supposed to experience this in these days right now, as we're talking. We have a comet coming by February 1st or 2nd coming by Earth. How is that going to affect Earth? The sun is still crazy, eh? Big sunspots on the sun facing us, still very, very crazy, but I'm not getting any time at all, sky time at all. It's just covered up. Hey, Cumbria, thank you very much. Stewie Light, appreciate that, you guys. Welcome. That sounds like an interesting one. They were talking about the inside of that spaceship that's 300 feet high, that the walls of the spaceship had a magnetic field like gravity, and the effects of gravity were felt more inside the spaceship. They say that on the surface of the spaceship, there were purple vines that they found climbing the walls inside of the spaceship with forms of vegetation, and that they would have been in a canister or tray with a yellow gold like dripping substance that was in them. Then the story starts, and again, this is where I'm getting interested in the story, because I'm saying, holy crap, did this really happen, or is it part of the story from the Thierry Speth novel, right? They said there was a large room inside of the spaceship. Just the story is incredible. Large room. I wrote it all down, but I guess I memorized it. Large room inside of the spaceship where they could see a light at the end. Now you can decide whether this is true or not, or whether it's fake or not. This is just what they're telling people, right? It could be part of the lie. I'm not going to hide it. A light seen inside of the room further away, which they believe that they could get there at the end of the room or that part of the room in about an hour's time. Because don't forget, the spaceship with ancient meteor strikes already on it would have been here before Giza, would have been here before the dinosaurs. I mean, think of that. That is incredible to think of the story that they said that, I mean, it changes everything. It changes the Bible. It changes all scriptures and stuff. There has to be a missing part of some of the scriptures, probably all the scriptures that we're finding here. They're keeping parts out of it. So they want to get to the light. Control tells them, no, never mind the light. We got to protect the samples. Go back to the LEM, to their module, and await orders. They go there, they sleep, they wake up the next day, and they start discussing about how and where they're going to go back to continue that part of the mission that day. They just saw the spaceship, but apparently a glove was found, white with red tips, which would have had to do with the Apollo 19, they say, because they had the white and red tipped gloves. That they would have, one of the astronauts, which they call Will, again, the names are changed. So you wonder right off the bat, how come the names are changed? There's a Jim Reynolds that they talk about, and there's a Leona, a woman in orbit during the Apollo 20 mission. So apparently, one of the astronauts, true or not, says, Control, did you say, like, in other words, we don't leave any astronauts behind. Do you agree with this? Control answers, yes, I agree with that. And he says, one final question. Can we go and see what happened to the Apollo 19 module? Because at that moment, they would have seen the Apollo 19 module silhouette, dark silhouette in the distance, because they found 2 tracks of a rover, but it wasn't their rover. So now you're listening to this and you're going, oh my God, is it real or is it not? Unfortunately, the dumbass that did the video made the video out to be a true story until he get to the end of the story. And the end, he says, well, Thierry wrote that story. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Watching it for hours, investing time and trying to find out. But I said, my crew's gonna enjoy hearing the story. So they head out. One kicks up a glove, the white glove with the red tips, and says, oh my goodness, that's part of the astronauts, one of the astronauts' gloves, right? At the same time, supposedly, true or not, in the story, Alexia or Alexei or something like that, because they changed the name of the astronauts, is on the Apollo 19 module that they found. They said that it hit hard and that everything was shifted when it landed, and that the hatch would have been open so that they would have lost pressurization. They wanted to go back to see if there was anyone alive, and when they saw the hatch, the other astronaut looks into the hatch and says, Will, which the names they're using, Will says, what did you find? Did you find something? Yeah. Did you find a body? Yes, but it's alien. So then the story goes to them wanting to go back. Like I said, I think I jumped that story where he asked the Control, do we leave astronauts here or do we bring them back? He says, well, proceed with caution, which right off the bat, that sounds a little silly that Houston gets convinced by 2 astronauts to allow them to proceed with caution to go and check the Apollo 19 module. And don't forget, this is supposedly the Apollo 20 that landed. They go there, they open it up, they find the Mona Lisa, they supposedly pressurize the cabin, the module of the Apollo 19, so that they can take off their helmets to be able to see and speak freely as they're examining a body. For some reason, a stethoscope appears in one of their hands. Okay. Stethoscope appears in one of their hands, and he says there was no heartbeat. that there was only a sloshing or whooshing sound of liquid going through the body. At the same time, they would have found a container that was not dumped, but lying on its side, opened up a little bit with that gold liquid serum or liquid that they found the purple vines growing in, a golden liquid. That's what the vegetation would have been growing in, right? So then they reach control, but not control. They reach the person orbiting that they call Leona, and she opens a private channel to talk to them and says, after being asked to connect with Houston control, she says, not right now. I want to talk to you. And she says, they already know. And he says, what? He goes, like, why? How could they know? And they say they already know. And he starts talking. I found a bloody glove. I believe it to be Jim Reynolds' glove for sure, he says. And Leona, a woman in orbit, who is on a private channel, not talking to Houston yet, says they know. They know all of it. They already know the aliens in the craft. They already know about the bloody glove. They know it all, right? So he says, Control wants you to bring the alien, which, by the way, was found on a metallic table. The being was 5.5 feet tall. The being would have had 6 fingers. They were asked to, untie her and bring her over into the Apollo 20 module to bring her back home. So look at it the way you want. The person, if this is just a story with some real parts, because they are, I confirm it's mixed. Could they have done this to bring the truth out by saying it's a movie, right? So that I'm always going to keep that in mind, that it's a big possibility. So that's a part of the story that goes to where all of a sudden they stop talking about that and they say this guy, Thierry Speth, would have, or Speth, sorry, Speth, a very odd name, would have written a novel. I looked it up. There is a novel, Apollo 20 mission from this guy many years ago. They're telling people, don't buy the story, or maybe buy the story, I would suggest, and maybe, I don't know, we can maybe find some truth inside that story, if there's any truth to the story of it all. But I was very disappointed finding out that somebody had written a novel. It destroyed my love that I had for that spaceship object they would have found on the moon. And another hard part, and they say that it's on the dark side of the moon. So unless somebody finds it in an image, we're probably not going to be able to prove that. For those who haven't seen the Apollo 20 Mona Lisa mission, I suggest that you do take a look at the spaceship they supposedly found, the markings on a spaceship, and just think of all of that, because NASA today, right now, is talking about producing its own spaceship with its own gravity. Why? The physiological stress that your body has, okay, without gravity, will instantly cause you problems and kill you. Your digestion system, so they say, in space, in microgravity, it's hard as the food move around in your body. We have an easier way of doing that because of the gravity here. So if somebody was to travel very, very far away to another galaxy, they would not be able to unless they had a gravity propelled spaceship, and they're literally, for real, trying to do that, right? If not, you're gonna, like in Family Guy, have all your blood, body, and heat all on one side, where your face is like this red because of the strenuous physiological stress that's exerted on your body. So we have to take that into consideration too. Gravity and microgravity, which means where there's no gravity, affects the human body in many different ways. The muscles don't grow. That's why you see them in the ISS space station, where they're actually doing exercises, and they're running on a bicycle or whatever. They're doing bicycle, or they're running on a treadmill, and they're just tied to the treadmill, whatever, whether it be real or not. We know that it can affect them in certain ways. So, yes, when we see lights in the sky, wishing from left to right, sloshing around, going up and down at high rates of speed, you can't have a human being inside of that craft. So, speculation and a lot of theories come up that, well, there could be drones, it could be many things, guys. It could be hypersonic drones. Doesn't even exist, but I mean, I'm going to shoot that out there. Eventually they're going to have hypersonic drones. 2023, this year, they're going to show us a new propulsion type of a motor, which they've been testing both with black secret projects and even public projects that they've been doing. Hypersonic planes is a thing that in 2023 is going to happen. If you look around at the airports and the people they're grounding in the States, whether it be because of a terror attack or not, it's concerning because they're going to ground all the planes, and then they're going to have these hypersonic vehicles that are going to go around Earth. And I don't think it's going to be necessarily for all of us, maybe for the elites or something. So it's my headphone. I didn't realize the stream start. Lol, that's why my je te demandais comment ça que Bruce me parle. The French guy has the model of the alien at home. It was a hoax, 100%. See, that's what I mean. So the alien could be a hoax, or like you say, is a hoax. But why would they have done that, right? Like they find a spacecraft, so all of a sudden they want to have a story that goes with it. Is the spacecraft a fake image? That would be very concerning. I don't know how the hell they would have faked that, but like you say, that guy that has the model of the alien at home, it was a hoax. Well, it was a hoax because they made the movie, but now you're telling me that part of that movie ideal was integrating the alien. That really sucks. So we got ourselves a spaceship on the moon that nobody has probably ever had the chance to go visit, that all these stories, and again, just in theory, I'm not ruling out anything for the ones that are religiously believing in this story. I'm not putting anyone down, but see, I told you guys, burn. Some people don't all agree with the story, and it's not about agreeing. If you find some truth in the matter, I think it's very important to share the truth. There's nothing I hate more than a hoax or a lie and the fake shit that they're putting into some of the real stories. It gets very, very concerning to me. Anyways, Matthew. Hey, it's going good. Jesus loves you. I believe it. I love him back. Thank you very much. Anika, child of Thoth, in the house. Hi, everyone. Hand pink waving because I don't see the icons, unfortunately. I only see the words. Hello, Anika. Hey, for you people, my good friends, quite a few of you, I guess, sent me some letters. With the 20th, around the 22nd, I will be going to the mail. We're in a massive snowstorm right now. Don't worry, and I will be giving you heads up of the replies and for to let you all know, those people that did send things here in the mail. I'm Kai says burn is correct. There's no debate. There's no debate about truth. There should be no debating about truth. If something is a lie, it should remain a lie, no matter how beautiful the story is, right? Some people want the beautiful story to attract views, and some people want the truth. If I'm finding what's on the moon and it turns out that it was an event that somebody went to the moon, but there's actually no one there now, it could be possible. I'm not going to spit on that. And I only want the truth. If the Apollo 20 story with the alien stuff like that is just a story, I will never, ever even touch it again. But again, I remain open-minded because I know a lot of those stories that I dropped was because I believe there was proof that they were fake, but I still keep it in the back of my mind. So don't get insulted, those of you that believe in the story. Burns giving his opinion. That's all it is. I agree with it, but it's still just an opinion. We need proof to see exactly what the hell's going on. So I guess I'm out of Fisherman's Friends. Oh no. I'll be coughing for the next hour. I don't talk enough. I guess. We went to the moon. What you saw on TV was not it. Thank you. That right now for me is where I am at, is where I believe it's on the top of my list. I even mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, probably. We went to the moon, but what you saw on TV was not it. That's 100%. And that's based on facts and truth, because I saw the proof of the astronauts themselves saying that. That's exactly word for word what they said. And I do believe somewhere humans did go to the moon. I obviously believe that it was dark projects, secret projects. The Pentagon got caught in 2015, 2009, 2015, around that time, maybe earlier than 2015. 209 for sure was one of the years. This is leaked proof in documents on the blackvault.com that our friend Greenwald let go through FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. That's the American citizens through that act can have things that are classified and things that have been put away in secretive for like 20, 30 years. They can have them declassified. So that's something really, really important. I actually do believe very strongly the possibility, if not fact, that we did go to the moon. And I do believe 100% that we did not see how they went to the moon. There's probably a lot of footage, obviously footage of them going to the moon. That footage would have been, listen, they would have had access. NASA would have known how many pictures are being taken. They would have seen the live pictures as they were taking pictures. They would have been ordered not to do this or to do this and not to do that or to do that. I believe that very strongly. John, I just learned urban meaning of my nick. I always wonder why so many people get big eyes when I enter chat. Oh, yeah, well, I've been there, done that. That's like me when I used to call myself Mr. Brucey 666 when I was studying the New World Order and the satanic ways and rulers that are ruling this earth. People are like, oh, he's a Satanist. Everything's backwards and upside down. Hey, thank you, Michael. I don't know about that, but I know we're all chosen to do something here, and we have to do something good on earth. I believe that. Thanks, Michael. Cindy says, I haven't gotten notifications lately. Missed the lives. Darn it. Thank you so much for letting me know, Cindy. Now you know, Fridays, 1 o'clock, every Friday. It's been years. 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and Wednesdays now at 5 p.m. Eastern Montreal time. Red Cap Goblin here in the house. How'd they get the footage of them leaving the moon without going back for it? No, listen, I hear you on that. Just like Apollo 11, when they left the moon, you know that beautiful shot of them leaving the moon? Who the hell was there filming them leave the moon? Doesn't make any sense, right? Does it? Lots of things. When they landed, don't forget, and they said that they had run out of fuel. They said in the transcripts of Apollo 11, they were 30 seconds approximately that they were going to run out of fuel. Not even a minute left of fuel. Then there's that way they took off, and Buzz Aldrin, good thing he had his felt pen there, a pen in his pocket there to stick into, to use as a fuse, because they had a missing fuse. So the connection was done between the pen to the other side. It's a pen I still have in my pocket all the time, wherever I go. That's what they say. But that makes sense. How the hell did the footage get there, you know? As for the footage of the spaceship, I'm not going to rule that out as not being real. Honestly, it looks real as hell. But, and by the way, the inside of the spaceship really is the inside of a spaceship that was never shown and burned. That part, I wonder if they took the inside of the spaceship and they added with an editor in that being, because it does look, if it's a film, it would be an actor or a dummy for real lying there, because it really looks physical when you see it. I'll have to look up and research that more in details. Nassan Call, Kassar, thanks again, my friends. MLW in the house. Gonna scroll down now to hello. Thank you. I look for the trolls. Gonna scroll down now. Crazy Music Space Jam. That's Elias Valhalla's other channel. I'm going to be there Byrne probably is going to be there. A whole bunch of people are going to be there to do projects or are welcome to go to that channel to do projects. If you want to check out Elias's equipment that he bought, got pedals, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, a Cajun drum, brand new microphone, and talking about his programs and everything, please head over to check it out. It's in French. He speaks English too, and often to the people in the stream, so you guys can take the time to check that out. Donald Taylor, how's it going? I think one way or another, some crazy shit has gone down for sure. One day we will totally be freaked out. I think you're right about that. Let the madness begin. Hey, how's it going, man? I agree with that 100%. Hey, it's Brad Paranormal's birthday. I have an idea for a gift. Go to his channel, watch a video. If you like the guy, give him a sub, give him a thumbs up, give him a comment on his birthday. Come on. And I wouldn't send you to a channel that I don't appreciate, like Peter Benton's channel, who Lucky Bugger was able to get the sun. I haven't gotten the sun in a couple days. I don't think I'm going to be a while not getting the sun either. He gets the moon, he gets the sun, wide variety of birds around where he is in the UK, even visit some castles and stuff. It's a unique channel with a lot of variation, and I love the guy. Him and Kelly are here all the time supporting the channel. So like the real stats, another person that's here all the time supporting the channel. Every one of you are. I could name each and every one of you. Thanks a lot, Julie. That's the Patreon channel. For those who don't know, I have a Patreon channel. Without having to pay anything, go and check to see what it's all about. There's some videos up there that I upload. If ever I disappear here, the Patreon channel is where I'm going to show up. How to make a contribution to the channel? Well, you're all contributing right now if you're here showing up. The super chats, I get super chats. There's a thanks button on the videos. Maybe you'll like a video during the year. Christmas time comes up and you say, well, hey, what an effort. That's an incredible video. I'll give them $2, maybe even $1. You can give a minimum, right, on the channel. And those are ways you can contribute. The Patreon links in the cover image of the channel. I have my French channel, my music channel. Also, Bruce's music. There's of Nico Quebec Astronomie. And I have a Spanish channel. But now the transcripts are supposed to change so that everyone will be able to understand my videos. The transcripts are not working on my channel. So someone in Spanish comes here and puts it in Spanish. It doesn't work. They manipulate your thumbs up. That too. The thumbs up, the views too, and even the subs, which are always going down basically and not going up. Norma C. Hi, Bruce. Just wanted to say I'm glad you were here. Thank you, Norma C. I love you so much, and thanks for the incredible support as always, you guys. Crazy Music Jam. Good evening. Merci, Maridan. Thank you very much. Prends le temps d'aller voir. Go see the channel. And Maridan, and for people that sent me things that I've been making you wait painstakingly for weeks, I'm going to be going to the mail soon in a couple of days. I promise to keep you all posted on any letter that you guys can send me, so I can thank you. Chrono says they're building 15-minute cities on the moon for the UNJ. You see, I mentioned a couple of months ago that when they started talking about the 15-minute cities, Chronostone, when they started talking about that, I said, there's a possibility that that's why there are craters on the moon, that the 15-minute cities are all inside those craters, and the mountains that are around it, I imagine, in theory, imagine all the animals that could be around in the high altitudes of these glacier mountains where people would be stuck inside of these craters. Anyways, maybe not the exact same theory, but it's something that I definitely think about. Wait, at the beginning, I was worried about all the people that were missing from Earth, possibly taken there. Maybe some people were kidnapped and taken there. Some of our children, some of the abductions that are very real here on Earth that we hear about, the abductions and everything. Maybe possibly they brought some of the people, the humans here on the moon. I mean, it's something pretty incredible, right? Is OBX Arms here? Yes, he is. think the Men in Black now wear. That's something I was going to say. That's something I would say. I like that one. Yeah, well, uh, you know, there's some truth to that, right? Everyone's expecting a man in black with that 1947 black hat, and that they have big eyes, no emotions. I think it's a little different than that. The truth is always a little bit different. So, yeah, I know all about her, Cindy, because people are always here trying to get me to go and see her and everything. I'll tell you what, Gina doesn't do any research about UFOs at all. She has no equipment either. But some people here like her. Like I said, I got nothing against that. As for me, I don't appreciate fake shit. And when I see one fake shit video, it drives me nuts and I don't go back to the channel. Suicide weekend mostly starting today. Suicide. Bobana, thank you very much again for being here. Troy Stairwells in the house. Iron Sky 1 and 2. Yes. Mr. Gate Smasher, how are you doing? Good afternoon, Bruce Cesal and everyone in the chat. Thanks so much, you guys, for stopping by. Yeah, you had mentioned that a couple of Susan, Jane, thank you so much. Thank you. I am Kai. We were talking about that just the other month, weeks ago, you and I, in a comment about the death, where death, there's no pain in theory. Imagine that we're all afraid to die. Well, when people die, and I know this for a fact, maybe a bit morbid to talk about it, but somebody that loses a whole half section of his body doesn't feel that pain. The body's gone. And the ideal of what happens to your body when you're dying, and dopamine, endorphin, whatever is being sent to your body to alleviate you from the pain and stuff like that. Dying is a process of crossing over, is how I see it. And the part where people are suffering as they're dying, it's because they're living, and that's why they're suffering, right? Switzerland, I heard that too. Yeah, partly for sure. The head of the snake, absolutely, Kronos. Thanks. The PSB7 Spirit Box I found is really good for spirit communication. PSB7 Spirit Box. I'm going to write that down, brother. Because without investing in a lot of devices, I checked, and some of them are reasonable. That I can invest $40 here, or $50 here, to be able to get some. Just the EMF meters. Me, it's for in the house right now. I'm having a lot of activity, and I want to get one of the ones, the sensors where the ghost has to go and touch or be within like an inch from this monitor, where maybe that'll give us a bit of signs on some of the truth about it, since I'd love to prove it. It's not my goal, but I'd love to be able to. Thanks again, Susan Jane. Adam Truth Finders in the house. Carol West. Hello. Thanks for being here, Carol. Thanks for being a member, you guys. Just happy birthday to Sprad Paranormal. Head over and give him a birthday present, you guys. A little comment. Happy birthday. Enjoyed your video. A comment. How's it going, Adam Truth Finders? Just at work listening in. Sorry if I missed your messages. Hey, you never miss anything, man. I appreciate you for listening in even from work. Thanks so much. Leah says, Gate Smasher, good to see you. It's always good to see our friend Floyd in the house. Megabass Giggity. Yo, Bruce, nice to see you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by, brother. Appreciate you guys. Mr. Peter Benton. We have Werewolf One. Hello. Thanks so much. I'm late in the streams answering everyone as always, because I don't like jumping over comments, but I'll have to at one point. Thank you so much, Julie. Hey, Eva, thank you very much. That means a lot. She says, love the show and your energy, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sharp Welder 65. If we're mining on the moon, that means people and resources are taxiing in and out at some point. No, 100% sure. And that would explain every time we see a light arriving and taking off. It really would make sense if it's humans bringing stuff there. Absolutely. 100%. Thanks again, Susan Jane. Gate Smasher, hoorah! Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that for the generous contributions. The Earth is tilting and the magnetic North Pole has moved a lot. It has moved. Confirmed. They confirmed that. It's coming. It's coming. Yes. The wildlife is migrating to different areas. Heard that just a couple of days ago. Watch and learn. Eat bacon. Absolutely. And yes, they're migrating. So get ready, USA, where the scorpions, spiders, snakes that are in a desert now that's going to, it was too hot many years ago, but now it's going to start having winters and stuff like that. They're going to head on over to the States. That's what's going to happen. They're going to migrate. The ants will migrate. Everything inside of the ground is going to migrate. What about the aliens inside the ground? If there are aliens in inner Earth, and that there really is an entrance in the southern pole from Antarctica, where Admiral Byrd would have told us when he went there with over 4,500 military personnel. They were there since the 1900s, also 1930 or something like that. There was food there. They dug out the trenches by hand to build their bases. So they dig out these holes into the ice and they put up panels, metal panels, and thrusts going across with wood overlaid there, probably buried the snow back up over top of that. They have transportable nuclear fusion reactors, guys. Okay. They brought that there in the 60s. And I'm not going to say the date that they brought that there because I don't remember, but the States have the patent of a nuclear fusion plant that they can transport, a transportable nuclear fusion plant. They bring it around. Big cylinder. You can see that. I just got a contribution, so I'm going to scroll all the way down now. Karen 18, Leia. So if I'm scrolling down and I missed some of you, Sheepdog. Bruce, did you hear about the black hole nearest? Yes, I have. That sucked in the star, split it back out, all broken and lit up. Pieces came out. I didn't know it had gone in because in reality, planets can't go through black holes, but it would have consumed it, and it consumes it by it going around in a trajectory to it. I did hear that though. Lisa B's in the house. Let me scroll all the way down here. I'm having problems with my feed. It's jamming and it's really annoying. Oh my gosh, there's lots of people. That's a good thing then if there's lots of people. Christy. Christy, Bruce, definitely great voice and also speaking voice. You could be, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Instead of like Pinocchio, I got the head that'll expand outwards. I appreciate that. You rock. Scratch is in the house. Thank you so much, Christy. Evelyn Saba, hello to you. Be patient, Bruce. We'll try to get to your questions. Thanks a lot, man. I'm running down here. Gate Smasher, thanks again for the generous contribution. I'm scrolling down because I know I missed one. Oh my gosh, it's Anika. Fisherman's Friends. Thank you, Anika. You're so sweet. I'll go get myself some more Fisherman Friends. Fisherman's Friends. Thank you very much, Anika. Oh, darn. I took off the message from Gate Smasher. Doyle, this is at 2:01. All right, I'm getting closer. Whoop, Christopher Rollins over top. I've been seeing thousands of Canadian geese heading back north. Yes, a couple of years been doing that, bro. And as a matter of fact, 3 or 4 years ago, our ducks started staying here. We see them in -20, -30 weather in parts of lakes and rivers where it's warmer, and we literally see them staying here all year, smaller groups. And the time where they're coming and going is also, I notice a difference. Doyle Shipman, how's it going? Bruce, is the sun flashing normal or is it a sun simulator? I'll tell you what, I'd be a liar saying that I don't believe in a sun simulator theory. The last video, I called it the sun simulator, hoping more people be interested in coming by and people that understand the term. So I'm happy you're here for that. I was wondering at the beginning, is the sun flashing because my camera is glitching? It could be. There's lots of camera glitches, but everyone tends, thanks again, Anika, everyone tends to think that it's always and only camera glitches. I mean, when you're filming your soccer practice, your kid, or a swimming practice, or a kid swimming in the pool, are there that many glitches on your camera where you don't understand? Oh my gosh, was that my son? I can't see him. There's too many glitches. There's no glitches when we film here. We arrive on the moon, all of a sudden, whoop, there's glitches. That's a glitch. That's a glitch. That's a glitch. No, 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 no. We have a confirmed, real second class airman now. And then at that time was sergeant when he was talking about this. Carl, if you're going to know him, was talking about the structures on the moon, mushroom shapes. There were towers there. There were spherical domes on the surface of the moon. And this has nothing to do with a fake Apollo 20 story. The guy's name, Sergeant Carl Wolf. Okay. That's definitely a name that you're going to have to look up. Second class airman. First of all, he was a repairman with special clearance. Okay. So it was there to fix a problem. He was taken into the laboratory where the equipment, and this, by the way, he said he would testify this under oath in front of Congress. There's no bullshit. This is a guy that's working with NASA here, there, okay, and is part of the military. Sergeant Carl Wolf, Carl with a K. Look him up. He's an important part of the story. So he's brought into the laboratory, okay, where the equipment was, and scientists were there from all over the world. And he was totally blown away, the fact that there were scientists there from around the world just for a NASA mission. It was exciting, right? Everyone was under edge at that moment that were there. They showed him something, and they showed him that they had found a base or buildings on the dark side of the moon. There were mushroom shapes, there were spherical shapes, and there were towers on the moon. He said that he worked there for 3 days and remembers waking up the next day, after the third day leaving, waking up at home the next day saying that Carl himself, and I quote Carl Wolf, "I was excited for the news to hit the media so that the world would know this truth." And at that time, when he's telling the story, you hear him say 30 years later, he goes, the story is still not out. But Carl Wolf said that he would testify under oath before the Congress about that truth. So there's another one that confirms that there are objects on the dark side of the moon. But now here's the thing that I believe they're doing. When they say on the dark side of the moon, I don't think it's on the dark side of the moon they found the structures. I believe it's on this side because there are domes. I proved it. There are spherical objects. Thousands of people have proved it. And even buildings. Okay. Like literal buildings with lines that run for 1,000 miles. There's no ejecta that's going to go up and over mountains in a straight line. Have you ever seen lava flow go in a straight line for more than 6 to 20 kilometers? It's going to shift, considering that the surface has an uneven terrain. They have depths on the surface of the moon that it goes as deep down as 10,000 feet. So ejected is going to land in there? No. So what's happening, the water coming from the poles, I believe, are accumulating in those depths of the moon. They confirmed having found pits hundreds of feet deep with the temperatures being 17 degrees in the bottom of these pits. You can walk around in a sweater. So when they talk about the craters having minus 400, minus 500 degrees Celsius because they're plunged into the darkness, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe that 100%. Altamont 1, thanks, guys. The support here, I want you all to know that I love you so much for it. It's absolutely amazing. Yes, I know, Mr. Dr. R. Campbell. We'll get your comments as he scrolls down. R. Campbell Bruce, thank you. We'll get your comments as he scrolls down. He is behind by about 20 minutes. Yeah. So now I'm here now, but I skipped over the people up on the top. Hey, Scratch, because I try to get to everyone's comments. Thank you, everyone. If Darla's watching, hope you're feeling good. Hope you're not using and blocking or anything. I hope you're just sitting down, relaxing. So we want you back feeling great. Our skies today. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks, guys or guys. Mix Mayhem, thanks for being a member to our skies today. We would eat bacon, Gate Smasher, but the pigs have gone the wrong direction. Yeah, you got to catch them. Don't let those pigs go. I keep saying it, and I know some people are going to think that I'm just saying it to be funny, and I'm not. Bacon is not fattening, guys. There's no trans fats in that. No, that's something. Take it from a fat guy, okay? Trans fats, when you're eating trans fats and margarine and butter and stuff, not real butter. That's what's no good. When you use real butter, but back up a little bit, butter parquet. Back up a little bit in my life, anyways, where I remember people saying, "Oh gosh, don't use real butter, too fattening, and don't eat bacon because bacon." A lot of fat in that. Yes, but it's fat that we need, that your body can digest and alleviate, right? Not a lot of people know that. If you're eating 6 pounds of bacon a day, well, then again, the carnivore diet where people say to eat meat, but not anything else. I'll eat meat, no problem. My problem is that there's pasta that goes with the meat, always. A little bit of cheese, a little bread, right? But if you only eat the meat, you won't gain the weight. If you eat the pasta, and I'm saying that I must have, if I was to count the bags of noodles here, and each noodle or spaghetti noodle that I have or whatever, it'd probably be well over 3 million because that's all I eat. Stupid, mix that with something. I eat rice, mix a little meat with the rice. But if you just go carnivore, apparently it's better for you. So they say. They can't swim. Thanks again for being here, Christy. For the encouraging words, my dear friends. So I'm at the bottom here. If you want to send a CME to Bruce, there's the address. Yes, you can send me some solar storms or UFO parts. Just don't send any anthrax. Paul David, they are ultra-terrestrials from an ancient epoch. I believe that. They colonized Mars, then destroyed it. You see, there could be some truth in all those things. Of course, we have no idea. Hey, guys, we're talking about, could we easily say like tens of thousands of times where empires and dynasties were built up over long periods of time? They evolved, they got stronger, they took over the world, and then they were destroyed. How many times would that have happened? This probably happened thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And every time the elites try to get smarter, right? So they deal with trickery, smoke, and mirrors. And that's what we live. That's what's all around us. Trickery, smoke, and mirrors. When somebody says that something is fake, another person, could be your own neighbor, is going to turn around and say you're full of shit. You're wrong. They don't have to fight with us, the governments. It's all us, the people, are fighting amongst ourselves. We fight about whether they went to the moon or not. We fight about this, we fight about that. You have to take it with a grain of salt. When people tell me things that change or completely change my research, I got to go with it. I have to invest time in researching that. But that I find is the exciting part. We know someone's up there. It can't be hidden. Someone is up there. Who, we don't know. I don't linger on who it could be. We often talk about it now more and more. The humans, Kronos, you said it the way exactly how I think it. We went, possibly on my end, we went, but we were not shown that truth, and nobody has any idea of how they went. As a matter of fact, do you know that they said that they lost the transcripts? Part of the transcripts when they're coming back was damaged or something. They also said that they did not know how to return to the moon. This is real scientists and even NASA astronomers that are talking about this. I saw a NASA astronomer review on YouTube a flat Earth website where you can see a flat Earth model of Earth. She went there, and I'm not a flat earther, but I'm not a round earther either. It ain't round, that's for sure. I don't care about whether it's flat or not. We're stuck on it. Could discs exist? Yes, there's a star that was just forced into a disc shape by a black hole. Okay. People are worried about Betelgeuse. I got so much to say. People are worried about Betelgeuse, right? The explosion of Betelgeuse. What about Pegasi? IK Pegasi or Pegasi star? A lot closer to us. Okay. Like a lot closer to us than Betelgeuse. It's in our solar system and it's about to go supernova. No one's talking about it. Pegasi, the star. That's what everyone should be concerned about. Why is there more light around Earth? When I didn't finish what I was saying before, I guess, with the green moon. The reason why I got the green moon, do you remember what I said in that video? I said it's because the lighting around Earth was different. I showed you months before the sky flashing. The sky here, our atmosphere flashing, guys. Remember that, guys, at the end of this summer? Where the sky was bright, less bright, less bright, bright, less bright, pink, blue, orange, pink, blue, orange, like a reset. People are saying, like, wow, it looks fake. Everything going on. If there's explosions about stars with stars further out, like Betelgeuse and Pegasi that's getting brighter, are we going to see a difference intensity in the night sky? Are we going to have a harder time seeing the stars? They're talking about it in the news as of yesterday, last night. They said that stars are getting harder and harder to see. And in the coming years, maybe we won't be able to see the stars. Imagine that one. They're talking about it just now. Very interesting. Hello, Bruce from France. Lightman 54,000. Merci. Bonne année. Ben, bonne année à toi aussi. Joyeux Noël en retard. Et merci pour le grand sport. Puis Lightman 54 000. Merci toujours de revenir. Ça fait longtemps que je vous vois ici. Je te remercie vraiment beaucoup. So thoughtful, Floyd. Thank you very much, brother. Thanks, Scratch. Always appreciate when you smash the like button. French streams, 1 o'clock Eastern, Montreal time, and watch the videos. Thank you so much, Julie. The real stats, and it's my French channel. So if you guys looking for a backup channel, well, that's if I go down here, which I could very soon, and I'm not joking, start looking at my other channels and get prepared. If you don't want to go to Patreon now, no problem, but head over to Patreon to see what the title of the page is, because if not, you're not going to be able to find me. And my moon buff people are going to be hopefully missing me and looking for me. I'll be looking for you before, trust me. What's going on for as living quarters are concerned beneath the moon's surface? Yeah, I'm so curious as to what the structures look like inside. Our South Pole is hiding something mysterious too. Absolutely. There's telltales of large vegetation, large spiders that would have been seen during Admiral Byrd's mission with his 4,500 secretive military personnel. And don't forget, one of his kids, daughter or son, took a journal report from Admiral Byrd. And those who don't know Admiral Byrd, it'll be a beautiful afternoon for you to look up this Mockingbird, Montauk, Project High Jump was Admiral Byrd's. There's, oh my gosh, you go down the line to Project Paperclip, all these projects, Project, the Blue Project. I mean, it's never ending. But when you go and bounce in to all of those projects, you see a pattern. You see a pattern of what they've been doing since the beginning of time. It's a literal pattern. His Highness in the house. Thank you very much. Tesla arranged first contact with FDR. That's something I wouldn't be surprised. I have no proof of it. Haven't seen any, but I would not be surprised. But they're talking about it. They say that he was in communication with aliens. They say that he recorded people talking in space. This was before the moon landings would have occurred, even though we know that they didn't show us the real moon landing, whether they went or not. For nuclear, remember the moon with helium-3 on regular. Yes, oui, ça c'est à ne pas oublier, tu as absolument raison. Ils ont trouvé ça, l'hélium, dans le régolithe. Aussi, ils ont trouvé de l'eau aussi. Like he says, Lightman 54,000. For nuclear, remember the moon with helium-3 on the regolith, right? And at the same time, they're supposed to go there and mine helium-3. C'est peut-être ceux qui sont déjà en train de sortir du sol de la Lune. Thanks again, Christy, for being here, you guys. Happy birthday to anyone who's turning 29 again, and good vibes. Hey, that's a good one. Same here. Yeah, damn right. 29. My gosh. That's like, wow, that's like 10 years ago for me. $18 years ago. Close. Where was I at 29? I was a hunk. I'm kidding. I just wanted to say that. Damn, was I looking good back then? Reminds me of a narcissist that used to hang out here. That she's now on their channel talking about. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I won't get into it. Hilarious. Somebody hit my jaw. I broke my ear. I broke my nose. I broke my sternum. I broke my chest. I broke my ribs. I broke my elbows. Got some special people here on YouTube, and that's what makes this platform such a beautiful place, where all these people are there. Peter knows who I'm talking about. But is Daryl Cahoon in the house? Is he? I don't know. I did not see Daryl. If so, welcome and hello. Leia, love it. 163 likes is wonderful. It's beyond wonderful. I thank you guys a lot for that. If I get to 200-300 likes, it's always very incredible. I have to thank everyone right now because there's 155 people watching, and that's something very rare because we don't go over 153, 52. We don't go over the 100 viewing mark, 100 people simultaneously here at the same time. Hopefully there's some new people coming by the channel. And, if you are new, please take the time to check out the videos. I mean, I'm here on YouTube. I shouldn't be. They should have taken me off with what I'm showing on the moon, but luckily they're keeping me up because it's not through NASA photos that I'm exposing something. It's through photos, quite simply, that I took myself. Thank you so much. The image of black holes looks identical to how a magnet looks under. Oh yes, ferrocell. I love that. And the material also tells me they ain't what they say they are. Well, that's right. And at the same time, Scratch, man, they're even talking about the black holes not being exactly what they think they are. They're seeing a lot of different things happening in some of those black holes. They're starting to talk about it on the news there. Well, not in the news, actually, in the websites I go to, because you have to try to find this information. Darn right, Karen. As a matter of fact, Karen and Christy, they're saying that people are becoming more curious. Do you believe that? I do. Definitely becoming more curious. Mi canal Investigación en Español, Bruce's Spanish channel, link right there. If you have Spanish friends that want to know what I'm talking about on the moon, I put up a good many handfuls of videos there to explain to some people, Spanish speaking, Latin American, Spanish, Spain, America, wherever you are, Spanish speaking, head over and share it with your Spanish speaking friends. Some people don't speak English or French. Was that Edwards for the real close encounter? Don't usually comment, but love watching and thank you from us. Hey, our skies today, I respect that. A lot of people, you're not alone. Come here to the they don't have time to spend their days commenting, and some don't have time at all to comment. But once in a while, somebody leaves me a comment just like you did, saying, I'm watching, Bruce. I rarely comment, but I'm watching. I'm watching. I respect that. I got no problems with that. Thank you very much. And of course, thanks for being a member, man. Bless, Bruce. Miss you so. I miss you more, Evelyn Saba. I didn't know what to do with myself. So happy you're back, Bless. I thank you so much. I miss you guys so much. That's a fact. Evelyn, I heard that the Prime Minister, Miss Teeth, sorry, I had to, and Miss Ears from New Zealand has finally resigned. So I'm wishing you guys lots of luck. And I hope you're seeing that there's an ending coming with some of the bad that's been going on. New Zealand, good news is coming for you guys. Prime Minister's gone. And that's the Patreon channel. If you guys want to join the Patreon channel, wouldn't it be awesome, Leia? 29 again? Sun Simulator. Yeah, listen, it could be real. Hey, our skies today, we have China. Thanks, Julie. We have China that made their own sun, and they tested it a couple of times. It was between 5 and 8 times more warm, hotter, like not warm, much hotter than the sun, our own sun. And so it's like, wait a minute. At the beginning, they were supposed to make a moon. Do you guys and gals remember when China said that they were going to do special things for people's anniversaries by sending up ball bearings or titanium bearings or whatever into space, a container where people, this is real, what I'm telling you, look it up, where people will be able to wish a happy birthday to a family member, and at a certain time in the sky, they can go outside and they will see falling stars headed towards them. They talked about that. Then they talked about making the moon, which was supposed to illuminate at night instead of having street lights. Then I was like, that's full of shit. Like, how can that even be? No way. And then they made a sun simulator. So it's a free energy machine that they were able to have it last for so much time. So apparently China has at least 10 years to invest more time and lots more money into that. That's for sure. Space funding is low, right? $22 billion low. The Pentagon is getting their fundings cut. And a whole bunch of associations that are getting some stuff cut. Did you know that Elon Musk, SpaceX, he is the leading company for the defense in the States, the leading company that they depend on to get satellites and constellations made for them, like the Space Force. Space Force are one of their GPS satellites. I hope the Space Force is going to concentrate on the States and less on Ukraine. I don't give a damn about what's going on over there, honestly, guys. Not at all. It's bullcrap. Both sides is bullcrap. Russia's side's bullcrap. Ukraine too. It's the people on both sides that I'm worried about. Never the elites and what's going on. A lot of scammy like things happening in the news. Yep. Greatly possible. Speaking of sensors, well, that's exactly what they're doing. Again, there's, what's it called? Is it Space Shield or something like that? They have the Pentagon that is going to have a whole bunch of satellites made for their communication in space. Space Force has another satellite GPS that's up. So basically, guys and gals, all those satellites, they said it at the first UFO report, they're going to be looking at UFOs with that. That is all they're going to be doing. Of course, it's going to be looking to see if any foreign country or adversarial country is doing anything with those lights, but I don't think it's human. I really don't think it's human. I don't even think we have a clue as to what those UFO lights are coming here to Earth. In theory, I don't think it's a spaceship with people in it. That's even scarier, right? It could be a communication device or the eyes for an alien race that's outside of our galaxy or in the Milky Way or whatnot. It's scary stuff thinking of all that. The more I realize there's so much, the more I learn. Yep, we have not learned the truth about yet. It's well, that's how you see, Christy, how primitive we are. Yes, there's so much that we have to learn, and there's lots that we don't know about. Hey, Anika, thank you so much. You included, you guys. You guys are all awesome. Seriously, for I mean, keeping the channel up. Wow, I can't thank you guys all enough. Yeah, don't forget, guys, we have a stream on Wednesdays here. So I've been down for 2 weeks, those who don't know it. So if you like real truth, I have a 14-inch telescope, guys, and I'm blowing it out of the park with the things that I'm capturing on the moon. They're suppressing the channel, like a lot of you know it. So if you're here on the channel and you're not suppressed and you're able to reach my channel, well, kudos to you and enjoy it, because it's not going to last forever. The channel might not be here forever. Freedom of speech is something that we're having a hard time expressing ourselves on. So it's important to share the truth. If you know, talk about it with your neighbor, your parents, your wives, your husbands. I have a lot of couples here where the couples disagree. You know, a woman says my husband doesn't believe in the work, but I believe it. I have a husband that has a wife that doesn't believe in the research, but he believes in the research. So it's really, you know, it's not forcing or breaking your leg to believe that something's on the moon. You can come up with your own opinions of exactly what's up there. Oh my gosh, does she not have it off yet? Jeez, Leia, yeah, I guess she'll be anxious to have the cast off. I believe it. Rasan Campbell, thank you very much. Why won't you answer my question? Shoot, my friend. What's your question? I always get people like you guys here, which you guys tickle me a little bit. But go ahead and comment again. Maybe you didn't notice there's like 1,800 people here. Missing the best mod ever. Darla, hope she is back soon. Yeah, I hope she's feeling better soon for sure. But that's how it is. People are sick. You've heard of the name. Yes. I don't know how humans would react seeing a race being supernatural and for superior in intelligence. I don't know how humans would react seeing a race being supernatural and for superior in intelligence. Yeah, I get it. Maybe not a lot. Ardan Jr., thanks for being here. Probably not a lot of people are entirely ready to accept that. I mean, let alone on believing that there's aliens or astronauts that are aliens, by the way. Haim Eshed, former defense minister in what? Jerusalem? Somewhere like that. Haim Eshed said that the Americans have alien hybrids as astronauts working for them, living inside of Mars, you know? So why would they bring that up? And why would the news not even talk about it? Skywelder, thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. So helpful. I appreciate that. Rasan Campbell, where's your question, brother? You didn't say a bloody thing. I just went back up to look and I don't see anything being said there at all. Thanks, Leia. They have a sun simulator, Fernal lenses, drones, plus spraying to hide what is coming. I believe they are spraying to hide what's coming. That I do believe. They're definitely spraying to hide what's coming. Skywelder, thanks again, man. Bob Laz, one of my favorite guys. Bob Lazar does not believe there's anyone on the moon. And I always believed a little bit in the background that what he was doing was trying to hide that some of the vehicles that he's seeing was on the moon. Maybe not, but you know, those are small craft that they were seeing. Is it because there were drones they're sending there? He also said that there's nothing inside. You know, back in the days, people didn't assume or associate that they could be drones too. You know, it could be a lot of things. There's no seat in it, or there's a seat in the vessel with just a bump in the middle, right? Nothing else inside. There's no dashboards. There's no buttons to press and whatnot. So then you come with the ideal that some of these objects are being driven through a conscience, living UFOs. That's scary stuff, eh? Some people come here and tell me, Bruce, the planets are alive. I love hearing that because you're awake if you're thinking that or theorizing about that. Don't let anything go by you. Kazoo, I'm hoping him to be the next president. Yeah, and now has a shirt and coat on because it's so cold here, but still no pants. So I like him without the pants. That sounded bad. I don't like an alien with pants. It'd be a little weird, actually. And even seeing him with clothes sort of weirds me out, actually. Rasan, what's up, my brother? I'm looking for your questions, man. Let me scroll down here. Telescope. Thanks, our skies. Rasan, did you hear about the new telescope? My telescope, Rasan. Yes, I have. I use a 14-inch telescope. A 14-inch telescope. It's a CGXL high definition telescope. I paid $1,200 more for the high def telescope, and I have a Nikon D850 at the back with incredible power to zoom. It's the best camera on the market, the D850. You could look it up for yourself, the reviews. It's the best camera on the market, and it was for many years. Oh, I thought I melted everyone's heart. Bruce, don't be jealous now. Yeah, man. So Nikon D850 is exactly what I'm using. And that's set directly, Rasan, right at the back of the 14-inch with the extension, the little gap that we have to put the camera on there. I can zoom up. I can, I have thousands and thousands of times you can zoom up, especially on the moon, because with the D850, you can zoom in thousands of times. It doesn't pixelate. And that gives me a lot of chance at being able to see the structures on the moon because I have found some. Heard that there's no light without water. Is space water? That's true. Apparently that is absolutely true. There's no light without water. Interesting, eh? Well, you see, I'll tell you what. The space isn't dark, and not a lot of people know that. And you can find that real factual information. Space is not dark, and space is very bright. At the same time, when you see in the movies where the helmets, they lift up the helmets and their faces and their eyes bulge out and stuff, that doesn't happen in space. It doesn't happen in space. As a matter of fact, there's an old Russian mission that they had during and we're talking about Russian cosmonauts way back, that he went up there with a shirt, was with just a regular shirt and no astronaut suit inside of the spacecraft. That the guy inside of the spacecraft had to transfer over to another module. No freezing. It's not cold either. That's another thing. That's like the black holes. The black holes, that they're only finding this out recently. If you look in a movie, the black holes are consuming, planets. You see a planet go inside of a black hole, and people tend to think that because they say a black hole, even I did at the beginning when I first heard about the black hole. Sure, they've been talking about it for a long time, but now they supposedly found one, because a black hole has a corona around it, and a dimple in space and time that it creates because it's so dense and heavy that you could see the light around it. If not, they would not be able to see the black holes. But a black hole will consume a planet or star in about a period of 100,000 to 1,000,000 years. There are planets that live around these dark holes, and the dark holes pull in light, all the light from the stars that are around it. It pulls it in, and that's where you see these fast radio bursts, which are the biggest and largest, brightest explosions, most massive explosions, the fast radio bursts that they're registering now, that we're getting a message from, right? Well, these black holes consume all that energy, and in the backside of it, you have this jet stream light of fast radio bursts that's coming out of it. And sometimes a black hole can destroy a star in another galaxy. Okay. That is scary stuff, because if the black hole is facing Earth and sends us a fast radio burst, we could be killed in an instant. Right. And as a matter of fact, it happened at the end of 2022, where a fast radio burst, several fast radio bursts, FRBs, were registered, but one of them or two of them were, no matter how many of them there were, went by Earth very recently. And this is dangerous stuff. The fast radio burst, it'll explode a massive neutron star. I could only imagine what it would do to Earth. So is there a little truth in that, where maybe that's why we're having problems with our atmosphere and stuff? Is it just because of the flip? Because now they're talking more and more that the flip is going to happen. It's happening. It's happened. But there's one day where we're going to feel that effect. I probably rambling on, because those that follow me, I've been saying this for the past 8 live streams, that when we flip, it's going to be 24 hours to 48 hours where we're going to have massive earthquakes, massive tsunamis. It's going to be a blackout. All the effects or whatever is going to go all around the Earth and envelope the Earth in darkness and stuff. So it's the wobble, like a coin on a table. You spin a quarter on a table, and it's straight as a board. It's shifting around, but straight. Then it starts wobbling once in a while. We're in the wobble. And then after that, what happens after the wobble? It goes completely wobble. So that would be like, imagine many months of us seeing the moon and sun all over the place like we're doing now. Those that don't know, the sun is out of its place. It's off of the elliptical line that the sun and the moon are always supposed to follow. They're not there anymore. In the middle of the afternoon, I remembered always seeing the sun over my head. Not anymore. It could be low on the horizon in the south. Sure, it goes up, and it's the time it goes up. It goes up. It's delayed, and you see it go up later. It's not rising in the right area. It's not descending in the right area. So that's the wobble we're getting, and we're going to see some cataclysmic events, but people tend to think that things happen in one day, and they don't. So like the myth about those black holes consuming a planet, well, it'll consume it. It's not a myth, but it won't go through the black hole, because the black hole is dense. It's very, very solid matter. But what happens is they came to a conclusion that this is a fact, the scientific fact now, hard to believe. They can go back into time by doing a certain trajectory around the black hole, but we can't go back as far as people think. So apparently, from what I'm thinking, not just for what I'm thinking, what the smart people are saying, going back into time, and this is just me saying this, yes, I don't believe I would ever be able to go back into time at my birth and see myself, because going back to that time, it'll be that time in a different time. Do you understand that? You'll be going into the past to view your past, and you're only going to be able to view it. You're not going to be able to land and interact with yourself and stuff like that. I don't believe that. I believe that it's when you go back into the past, the timeline will already be different. You won't be able to go back and save someone by going back earlier, because when you go back, there's going to be other things occurring in different times. And this is something that they're starting to finally prove. The Philadelphia Project, when they supposedly disintegrate, well, didn't disintegrate, they made disappear ships along with the Navy people that were on the ship. When they came back, it appeared in the bay in Boston or something like that. And hopefully I'm not mixing myself up with Nikola Tesla, but some of these people were working on those projects. Some of the projects, like the Philadelphia Project, is based on works and theory of relativity with Einstein, even though he was a little off, and Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton in 1666. The government rakes in all that information to be able to do some dark things. Why? What does it concern you that they want to know how the galaxies were formed and everything? I mean, that's scary stuff. They're going to try to do something to manipulate Earth. To be able to manipulate Earth, they're going to have to understand how Earth works. They're going to have to understand how stars work. They're going to try to create their own star with a big bang. Maybe that's why we're having problems with the weather now. but I tend to think it's Betelgeuse. In 2019, Betelgeuse exploded, lost its top, the whole chromosphere. So you can only imagine the size of almost the solar system, except for Neptune and maybe Neptune and Mercury. Betelgeuse top would fit inside of the solar system completely. So that mass that created a big, large piece, is it coming to Earth? Is it going to come to Earth at one point? There's always things rotating around the solar system, coming into the solar system. Hey, guys, it makes no sense. Oumuamua comes into the solar system from interstellar space, slows down, goes around the sun, and goes around Earth, then speeds up to head back into the constellation of Lyra. So these things are spacecraft, right? It's coming into the solar system, going around planets and the sun, and then it takes off into the constellation of Lyra to look for some stuff. I mean, what the hell? You know how they slingshot themselves? NASA astronauts very recently talking about this. Slingshot ourselves to the moon. They have to slingshot themselves out of the atmosphere. Well, these alien craft that look like rocks, very smart, makes sense, are propelling themselves and using the sun and the Earth's orbit and all the planets. So it would make sense that they're leaping, right? They're leaping from planet to star to planet to star. You go around the star and you get the star's energy and force, and then you break out of the atmosphere facing the moon or whatever, and you go to another moon. Then you get there and you turn in the atmosphere to come back and gain speed to come back with the rotation of the moon. And this is what they're just starting to do in space. They got the solar sails, propulsion systems that they're trying, plasma propulsion systems, water propulsion systems, Artemis 1 project. They had like 10 to 20 experiments that they were doing. Very interesting experiments that they were doing. What in the hell are the Canadian government considering to do with mentally ill? Yeah, fully understand if you cannot answer, but what the F? It's horrible, and it's the suicide booth. Yeah, and now if you want to die, well, it's totally legal. You're going to pay for it too, you know. So they have that. It's not something that's fake. It's something that's true. I'm careful with what I say about it. I feel like giving the conclusion why, but anyways, you can look it up. The suicide booth, by the way, it has the numbers 666 in the phone number, by the way, and it's real. It's real. Apparently, many have already gone through the booth as of last year, over 10,000. Yes, absolutely. Hey, our skies today. I thank you so much. If I was permitted to allow you guys to come in, I would. But there's once in a while I leave a mission and I go pick someone up for a little ride and stuff. Things important if you want to get in my spaceship, things that you have to do. You have to go for a crap, completely empty your intestines. You have to pee and not drink any water for 24 hours, because the first thing that everybody does when I bring them for a ride in my spaceship is they shit on the floor or they urinate. So, you have to keep your bodily fluids empty stomach to be able to go for a little ride. You can only imagine, eh? The ocean of space-time. It's a beautiful thing. One of these days I will get a good vid. Yes. Always fun. You got some nice stuff you can film, Christy. That's for sure. When I used to work in a mine, was weird. You could see your own breath like it's freezing. Yes, but could walk around in a t-shirt, wasn't cold at all. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Scratch, thanks for mentioning that. Same thing here between the transition from summer to spring, or from summer to fall. Sometimes the humidity levels are extremely high. I've been outside at night during a summer evening that was very, very warm. And as I was walking around, you could see the breath coming out of me. But yeah, especially in the mines, the humidity and everything. That's true. Yeah, up there, Troy, and probably even here, stairwell. Absolutely. The Nazis there, and probably even here, the Fourth Reich is what I believe. Thanks, Julie. I hope newcomers will watch the videos. Doyle says the What Files just did a piece on that mission to the mile-long crash UFO with lady in it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what he says. He admits at the end that Speth, the guy, Thierry Speth, okay, or whatever Speth that wrote the story. And I was very upset having heard that only at the end of the video, but Dickie Kai in the house. What's going on? Everything jumping around here. NASA said the surface of the moon was overheating and should be ready to blow inside, but it doesn't. It hasn't. That's scary stuff. And I'll tell you what, Evelyn, if it's a spaceship, they're going to want to look inside the spaceship. So when they talk about the moon, if it's a dark, sphere or whatever, um, it could be filling with water. It could be literally filling up with water because I believe that that's where the water is going from the poles. And maybe, just maybe, that if the moon is a stationary UFO that's used there as a tool for our atmosphere, what could happen if the moon goes out? Maybe will we ever wake up one day and look at the moon and not see it white and see all those colors? That's what scared me when I filmed the moon green. Okay. The 2 weeks before they put me down. Why was the moon green when it was never green before? The surface is green on the moon. The moon isn't gray either. There's a lot of clouds in the atmosphere there, natural or not, whether it be smokes or hazes. I always have simple, my favorite. Yes, Mr. EC, thank you. That's another thing they talk about, the see-through domes or objects that are glass. As a matter of fact, some of them, not some of them, everything that I'm filming on the moon has the same reflectivity as a surface. So the structures are gray, the surface is gray. It's horrible. It's hard to differentiate um, the structures from the surface. It's near impossible to differentiate them. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by today's stream. We have another 2-hour stream at 8 o'clock that we'll be talking about everything we usually always talk about, but I'm going to venture into the news. There's a lot of news right now about satellites, about the associations forming coalitions and alliances. They're trying to liberate and be more transparent on the information and files, because now about UAPs, because the states are working with China, the UK, Japan, and the states are not releasing the files to China and other countries. So before they reveal it to the to the people, to us, the silly ones, the ones that know nothing, before they do that, they probably will release the intelligence to, I would hope not China, but anyways, China, whoever's working on them with emissions, That's what they say, Laurie, the carnivore diet. Absolutely. And it's true. It works. I have family members that have done it too. Stephen A., thanks, man, for being here. I'm so sorry for the late replies, you guys. Gave up dieting 10 years ago. I lost half my weight and can't put it back on. I overlost, not good at my age. Yeah. Not good at any age, I guess. Over losing for sure. Well, I lost 100 pounds. No, not now. A long time ago. I was 22, 21, and I lost it. Went from 280 to 179, 101 pounds. My goal was to get down to 100 pounds loss. When I looked at myself, I looked bony. I looked too bony. At 180, I looked like a Chico. It was ridiculous. I remember bumping my elbow when I was 180 pounds and crying. It was so painful. Big guys don't cry. We break shit. Walk around, go outside without a shirt on to bring the garbage out in the middle of winter. You don't see thin people doing that. Moonman, I've missed you. Thank you so much, Julie. Put all wanted questions in early at the 8 o'clock stream tonight and bring a friend. Absolutely love you even more. Hit the thumbs up, people. For Darla, I thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julie. Yeah, I hope Darla is feeling better because she's been on her ass, I guess, for a couple of days because I don't see the comments, which is totally normal. That's what the flu is doing and whatnot, variants or whatnot. So wishing the best. Thanks for the kind words, Julie. No, absolutely, Stephen A. Thanks again, Evelyn. Stephen A. Absolutely. I've read the Book of Enoch. Yeah. And if you want to know the truth about the alien part that was left out of Bibles and scriptures, it's all there. Everything from the pygmies to the giants to the different sizes and everything. So these books, they leave them out of the Bible and they leave them out of scripture so that people don't read them for whatever the reason. You have certain religions like the Catholic religion, they exclude the Maccabees. So other religions, they exclude the Old Testament. Don't read the Old Testament. It's no good. What do you mean it's no good? Why did they make it? Maybe the new one's no good and the old one's better? No, too mean. Too mean. They got to make God better. The New Testament. He was too angry, I guess, right? No matter how you look at it, for me, it's not going to change anything when they tell me in theory that your alien is a god. And I still can't see how people could fight over that. With God's an alien. No, he's not an alien. God's an alien. No, he's not an alien. When you read the Bible, they tell you nobody sees God, but everyone knows who he is. As a matter of fact, God could be a woman, right? Could be a woman. Maybe that's why we see the weather go up and down. No, I'm kidding. That's hilarious. But God could be a woman. I was saying that when I was really, really young to my mother. That and praise the Lord, apparently. Go over to my grandmother's when she used to watch the PTL Club. The woman with all the makeup. Hello. The Southern accent. Was raking in money from people online. What do they call them? Television evangelists, right? Some of them are it's fun to watch. When you watch them, it's hilarious watching them online. Why give your money to someone when you can give it to God? You will be repent. You will repent. You will be paid back. Give your money to God. He will keep you rent free. He will take care of you. I've seen some evangelists saying that online. Scary stuff. The people are in the crowd. It's sad because those people are there and they want to totally give themselves to God, eh? All religious people. I have much respect for them. And when they go there and they, the priests are telling them things, or priests, ministers, ancients, whatever you want to call them, they don't like receiving questions from people. I asked a Catholic priest what he thought of the possibility that God could be an alien. You know what he answered me? He says, I don't want any Jehovah's Witnesses here asking me these stupid questions. Biggest insult ever. I turned around and I said, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. And by the way, one of the only religions I have a lot of respect for, okay, is them, the Jehovah's Witnesses. There's only good people in that, right? But every religion has some bad people too. Like any association, you got good and bad. Everything. We're half. We're half good, half evil. That's how I see all humans. Some of us use all the good side, just a little of the bad side. Some of us use all the bad side, just a little of the good side. But that's how it is. All that because Enoch will blow my mind. I believe it. Paul Hook channel will help you see buildings that have been hidden by trees, forests, etc. Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Yeah, I show plenty of those. As a matter of fact, I show forests in videos. All those patches that you're seeing around the structures are trees, guys. 216, been saying it for the longest time. The longest time. Glass on the moon would apparently be stronger than, yeah, that's what they're saying. It's also a glass that's extremely strong as there's no moisture in it there. Just wonder how the sun would affect it. Like you get scorched if behind it. Yeah, that's something else, right? If you're on the moon and you're in this glass dome with the sun over top of you, especially there with the days being even longer, would you friggin' cook, right? But maybe it's a technology to be able to create heat or distribute the heat along the surface of the moon too, so that people, well, thanks again, guys. I'm going to get off now. Appreciate all you do, Bruce. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Seriously, thank you so much. Salad greens, but don't care for grapes. I'm the same. I like grapes, but I love salad greens. I love salads. Oh, I thought you were okay, you're talking about wabbits or something? I was talking about me. I love salad and cheese. Boy, more than any rabbit or animal, probably. There you go. There's some truth. That's a shape um, that I believe Earth has. I believe you're 100% right about that. Our skies today. You know why? Because there's the potato theory for the asteroids. All asteroids and meteors are shaped like potatoes. All of them. Nothing's round. Nothing's perfectly round. Earth's not perfectly round. The moon is said to be shaped like an egg, which egg, potato. I believe that. I believe that they're shaped like a potato. I believe there's a part of the moon that's sunken in. Copernicus crater, I said that last stream. Copernicus crater, the largest, whitest crater you see on the bottom, not the edge of the moon. If you go up to the bottom, you'll see a white crater facing you. That crater, look at the surface, is up sideways and it's up sideways like that, and it's pointing outwards like it's a big ass radio telescope. So parts of the moon, when you look at it, it took me a couple of years seeing that. Looking at the moon, you go, whoa, it looks like it's sunken in. It doesn't look like it's oval or round. Maybe Earth has a part, one half, where it's filled with mountains and hills and everything, and the other side of Earth could be just, valleys and craters. Like, I mean, um descending levels. You know what I mean? Where Earth is sunken in on one side, much like Earth could look like a basketball, a deflated basketball, where it's not completely flat, where it's sort of punched in on one side, right? And that punched in on one side could be where that is most likely where that story is coming from, that the moon was created by, they don't say the moon hit Earth. They say something big as Mars hit Earth, and that the remnants of everything that was left over and the explosion and everything around it made the moon. Could explain why there's a lot of dust there. We don't know. Beautiful sky shots. Can have them printed as gifts. Thank you. The real stats. I have a Pictorem link if you guys want to see what I believe a base would look like. I have on Pictorem, small photography channel, the possibility where you can buy a poster. I've had 3 since it's been open that did it, and I'm very thankful for it, that you can look to see at the converted image of the moon, and I show the base in Sinus Iridium. If you're curious, it's a free website if you want to go see it, so take the time to go see it. Yes. Shh. Yes. Pad to write that. I have the 2 vids off, but Aldrin blowing the whistle on live TV, not the kid interview. Better than that Saturday Night Live. Use an iPad to write that. I have the 2 vids off, but there's lots of Saturday Night Live skits everywhere too, but there's some real proof that they really didn't go. It's not round if the 1400s to 1600 maps that the ships used to sail, like Perry Rell's map. Yes, 100%. And everything's flat, right? The map is flat, right? You see all the continents straight flat up on a page. They like cheese. So do I. Must be busy. Must be busy. Usually Kai's bringing out the good ones. Beetlejuice, says Suzanne, that's the mayor of Chicago. Lightfoot? Am I right with the history? Or is she Chicago? Oh, you said Chicago, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, Lightfoot. The bug-eyed SOS pad hair woman. I mean, this woman looks like a creature. She looks aggressive. It looks so aggressive. You ask her a question, she goes like this. Notice that? You asked Lightfoot a question. It looks like she wants to tell him to F off. Lisa, I'm going to look that up, and I have an article about it, and I'll bring it up in tonight's stream. Thank you so much. More about IK Pegasus. Absolutely. I never heard of it before. I had not either. And apparently, it's for real. A star, really hush hush that NASA is keeping low key talking about it. IK Pegasus. It's a star that is more in danger of a supernova than Betelgeuse was. So why are people all preoccupied with Betelgeuse when there's one right in our solar system, a star right inside of our solar system? But then I started getting confused. I'm saying, wait a minute, star in our solar in a star in our solar system? The sun is the largest star in our solar system. Thought it was the only one. The stars inside of the solar system. Think of it. Could be a bunch of crap they're telling us. Could be the magnetosphere. Well, guys, I thank you so much for coming by. I also have a rumbling. Thank you so much to Real Stats. Paki Samotaki in the house. Hello. Oh, well, I'll try to speak French more often, Evelyn. It is a romantic language. I miss your sun and moon videos. Love them. Amazing. Stephen, hey, so do I, man. So do I. Listen, it's been a long time that the sky has been bad here. I've not been able to get it. Imagine. I promise you guys, I'll jump on it. I got 3 UFO lights the other day in a clearing, and get this, it was totally clouded over, and they were flying around under the stars. So I am going to conserve my voice because I have to. I want to come on back for the tonight stream. Yes, Angel Dreams. Thanks for bringing that up. There we go. I'll mention that one tonight. The Space Hotel. Yes, they're developing one. The ideal of it has already been developed, and it's to permit people, the elites most likely to start out, and this is how they're going to be making more funding money. So you get it? They're going to have a tourism attraction in space. Could you think of that? Oh my goodness. Could you think of how much they're going to be charging for each tourist going there? Millions of dollars, 1.5 million, 2.5 million to go remain a week in a space hotel. It's literally a space hotel where it's a room you'll be locked into there, and they're going to leave you there, and you're going to be able to look out your window at space. How crazy is that? It's coming, guys. There's also the platforms that they want to have around Earth, between Earth and the moon, cargo platforms where robot missions are going to land on those platforms. The robots are going to load and unload other craft for the people doing missions in Mars and space. The ISS space station will be able to go there to get their equipment and food and whatnot, medical supplies. So this was an incredible, honestly, an incredibly interesting stream. I thank you all so much for coming by. I apologize to all the people that I, for some reason, always the same people that I never get to see her messages. I mean, look at the stats. She wrote like 10, 20 times. I answered a couple times. I mean, it takes a long time for Bruce to see it sometimes, but I assure you, I'm not doing it on purpose. 1,800 to 2,000 messages here during the streams. Last stream was 1,846 messages. So I try to get to them all. The somewhat new Enigma Lab, I have questions. Who are they? Yeah, Trace B, that's another thing. Who the heck? I mean, do they have aliens here now? There's some associations that we don't know who they are. They're remaining hush-hush about it. Hey, my spell chick. Yeah, same here, Julie. And thanks for the kind wishes for Darla and everything, you guys. I am going to have to get off here. Wow. For website costs and the new big telescope and the good stuff coming, well, there's the My Event. My Event, it's money that I'm raising that I'm not touching for bigger equipment. So when you go there, it's for the equipment. When you come here and you gave me a couple of dollars on here on the thanks button or through the super chat here, I thank you because it'll come directly to me at the end of the month, as compared to My Event that'll be there for when we get to the amount that we want to get to. But it's money that I haven't been touching at all, so that we can grow the channel the proper way. We got the big scope now, and then we'll get into some badass serious equipment. We have in the near future an infrared drone that is also coming. A couple of people have been giving contributions on that, saying for the drone, for Fisherman's Friends, for bacon. But you can be sure, any chance I get, the dollars go for the equipment. Guys, it's an absolute must. So Mix Mayhem, Trays B, thank you very much. Our skies, adios, merci mon frère. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. Evelyn Saba, thanks for being here. And everyone, Lisa B. Oh my God. I'm going to pin that. Can I pin that? You're a witness, guys. Look like you've lost weight. Your face is slimmed down a bit. I trimmed the beard in. I'm not going to hide it. Still fat. Again, the eye problem that I have, the allergies. As a matter of fact, this side of my face swells up. So that's why you get that little bump on the cheek there. It should be as thin as this side. So when I look this way, it's like, so anyways, thank you guys. And I'll talk to you all this evening. Be sure to stop by this evening and to do like, oh yeah, Stephen A, we got to get to 200 likes. Are we there yet? Thanks to everyone. We were 155 watching this afternoon. I saw 167 almost, which is, it never happens here. So that means there was a lot of people coming by the channel. I thank you all so very much. I love you guys so much. Talk to you tonight at 8 o'clock. Be there or be square. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, mods.